paint in the streets. And although there were graffiti laws in place at the time, they were largely ignored. The general public didn't seem to mind seeing people painting in the streets, and police would usually turn a blind eye. So this was a very cool thing, especially. Eventually they made a stink about these guys being here, and they shut the whole thing down. They were here for about 2 years. You can actually look up on the internet, Google Alcatraz Poblenou, and I think there's a couple of YouTube videos where you can see what they were doing here. They were even helping handicapped kids and that sort of thing. So it was a very cool spot. It's a shame that it got shut down. And when you look over the wall here, you're going to see some graffiti that was added after they tore down the building. And you're also going to see some graffiti that was actually inside of the warehouse when it was still here. And it still exists on the walls even though the rest of the building has been knocked down. So what you want to do is, put one of your feet up here, hold on to the top. It is slightly sharp on the top of it.
Yeah, good work. Nothing, is it?
Yeah.
Scream thing from the doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, the roll-down metal shutters in front of these shops are called persianas. This one was painted by an artist named Kenor, who's definitely one of the residents in La Escocesa. He's a member of Democracia Urbana, which is a collective of artists, not all from Barcelona, but kind of currently living here. And these guys share the same views, the same values, the same mantra, that mantra being reclaiming the streets from the advertisers and getting them back into the hands of the people. Basically what they're trying to say is that anywhere you go, in any city in the world, you walk down the street and you find something, we had good timing on this, you find something in the street that's visually stimulating, that is not street art or graffiti. 99 times out of 100, that is an advertiser trying to get their hands into your wallet. And these guys in Democracia Urbana, they do not like that. They want to get nice visually stimulating things out in the street just for the sake of having them. So we have a tremendous amount of respect for these guys for that mantra. Kenor is from Barcelona, and he's kind of a pioneer of what they're calling graffuturism. Graffuturism we can best describe as kind of abstract graffiti, if that makes any sense. So if you can think of a really well done piece of traditional graffiti and kind of remove those letters and maybe the characters, what you'd have left with would be kind of abstract graffiti. And Kenor is definitely a pioneer on that. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah, did you get a photo of it?
I video it.
Yeah, of the graffiti. Okay.
Originally from France, he's currently living in Italy, and we'd consider this an urban intervention. It's a site-specific piece. The stickers were made specifically to go on these do not drive signs here in Europe, and most people would kind of consider these cute, cool, and funny. I would definitely agree with that sentiment, but this is also, there's a bit more going on here. It's a reflection of Abraham's attitude towards authority. He doesn't like anybody telling him what he can and cannot do, even if it's a street sign saying, hey, you're not allowed to drive down this road. It kind of pisses him off. And again, so these stickers are kind of a reflection of his attitude. You see the fist reaching up and pulling that block away. Sometimes they're under his arm like a surfboard and he's walking away with it. Sometimes he's sawing it in half. Sometimes it's a police officer bending over and kissing that block because they love their power. They love telling people what to do. So keep your eyes peeled. You'll see a lot more.
Wow.
You replace it with paint.
Mm.
You usually stand about 20 feet from a wall and you just start posing it.
Wow.
Sounds fun.
Is that usual in Barcelona? Just getting a fire extinguisher and spraying the wall?
It's kind of, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere. Max Rico does it a bit here.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Wow. So which artists are these by? Are they common ones or just random?
Huh?
Are these just common artists over here, as per here? Or is it?
It's all, this is changing all the time.
Is it? Alright. Mm.
Yeah. Down towards the bottom, you get a lot of that traditional graffiti.
Yep.
But you can see above that these birds.
Yep.
The kind of coyote with the Euro sign over there.
Yeah.
This is Democracia Urbana. Well, actually, this is done when they were. They used to be called Ovejas Negras, the black sheep. And then that disbanded about 8-9 years ago, and they reformed into Democracia Urbana. But you've got Tomás Catorce, who goes by the name Tom 14, member of Democracia Urbana and Ovejas Negras. A lot of times he's doing the birds with the teardrops to indicate, something not right is going on here, something sad's going on here. He also does a lot of hearts with 2 valves. And that's also, he goes by the name Mas More as well, more love. And when you see that heart, that's him indicating there needs to be more love here. Look at what's going around, look at what's going on here, pay attention.
So it's kind of a response to the social context, kind of raise awareness of the area.
Exactly.
It's like subtle signs that kind of,
Yeah.
signal out some kind of social issues, context. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. You'd see him put a big heart on like an empty building. Because this building's empty. We've got people living on the street. Why aren't there these people living in this building?
Yeah.
There needs to be more love. You see Kicks there again, the giraffe head, similar to that bunny rabbit that we saw earlier. Kicks from the mixed media crew.
Yeah.
Walicho in South America.
Ooh.
It's really awesome that this is here as well as this, because he's not from here and he hasn't been here in a while. And he's a very, very well-known street artist, graffiti artist. So the fact that this is here and kind of out of the way and untouched is a very, very cool thing.
Yeah.
So this is our very last uphill.
Alrighty.
And then we're done with uphill.
We should do it, because I think this is really worth it. I mean, like, if you walk past graffiti, you wouldn't really realize what's the underlying message. You wouldn't read it, oh, it's just graffiti. But yeah, there'll be more of an insight into what happens right here. It's good. Go first. What do you?
She's actually from Rome, and she's a stencil artist. She's kind of a hybrid stencil artist. You guys know what a stencil is, yeah? So after she lays her stencil down, she'll actually go over it quite a bit with paint pen and brush stroke. You can see all the white in the fingers and the scarf, the little white lines in her hair, all added by paint pen. So she is definitely one of the better stencil artists out there right now. She's actually the former girlfriend of one of the best stencil artists out there right now, C215. However, they're no longer in a romantic relationship, but I believe they still are pretty close friends, which is great for us here in Barcelona, because usually they'd come here together. So anytime, well, not anytime, but just about anytime you find an Eliche or a C215 in the street, walk around the block, you're almost guaranteed to find it.
You see Bomb Zone right there?
Yeah, yeah.
And right above it is Energizer. It's that hand on the ice cream that I talked about earlier. He's absolutely everywhere in the city center. Very good friend of Bomb Zone and Vegan Bunny's ex-boyfriend.
It's almost like a culture of street artists here. It's pretty nice. That whole head. Nice. Dude, we would never be able to find this ourselves. Like, honestly. Wow.
That's a Energizer again, the hand on the ice cream.
Yep. Wait, so what's the significance of that? Just character, alright.
Well, you know, it's ego. These people are doing this stuff so people see their art, and it's ego. You want people to like your art, and I think a lot of artists will choose a character or a symbol that's simple. Pez, very simple, very easily recognizable. If you do something that's too detailed, it takes too long to do. You
And
can't
it
get
kinda-
it up as quick as possible. Maybe people don't remember it as much and that sort of thing. This one right here is actually done by my partner, Joaquin. And he's back in California.
So how long did that mural take, roughly?
This one?
Yeah.
This took him probably about 4 or 5 hours.
Oh wow.
You've got, you know, what I think the pillars of democracy back here, and then you've got the guy wearing the capitalist shirt. You know, the pound sign, the euro sign, the dollar sign, and he's got a normal face, but it's just a mask. He pulls off the mask of the capitalist, and what's behind that mask? Nothing but destruction and war. You got the little monster on the left, kind of chewing on the pillars of capitalism. You can see the heart there with the two heads coming out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of Tomas Catorce. You can see from that last one that we saw is he's really kind of got the dual faces in a lot of his work. And this has been here at least 8-9 years, you know, pretty much untouched by the bulk of it untouched by other graffiti artists, showing you how much respect that these guys have amongst the street art graffiti world. Ortica Noodles is actually a duo, and they're also from Italy. They come from Milan, and what they do is they take pop art icons, load them up into their computer, and according to them, they'll brutalize the image. And you need to watch out. They'll brutalize the image, and then they'll turn it into a stencil. So, yeah, like C215 Eliche, they cut all their stencils by hand. It's Andy Warhol. Below it says "Pop Never Dies." Scat Cat, relatively new artist to Barcelona. Just started noticing pieces coming up by Scat Cat towards the end of the summer. Very, very kind of unique style. Barcelona street style to it.
Cool. I'll check it out, dude.
Nice. Facebook. We're also on TripAdvisor as well. She's amazing.
Oh, nice for sure. Yeah, isn't it cool? Yeah.
And behind you guys.
Pretty sweet. Hey, bike. Watch out.
It's the yellow face in there. The 215. His little signature cube there. The C in his name stands for his first name, Christian. The 215 is the number of the room that he was in when he kind of decided what he wanted to do with his life, which was dedicated to art and street art. He holds 2 master's degrees, one in art and one in history, and he is easily in the top 5, top 10 stencil artists in the world right now. His attention to detail is phenomenal. Cuts all of his stencils by hand, an incredibly tedious and time-consuming process. Notice the detail in the hair and in the feathers of the hair. The fading of that green color in the center of the face out to the yellow. Yeah, the man is definitely a master of his craft. And this is the former boyfriend and very good friend of Alice, who we just saw. But what I really like about this piece is I hate that somebody tagged right over it. That is relatively recent. But I love the way the piece sits on the door. Like, to me, if all those tags and stickers and stuff weren't on there and just the face was, it would look a bit out of place. But to me, it looks perfect just the way it is. I kind of look at this whole door as one piece of art with a lot of contributing artists. I'm not just focusing on the C215.
What kind of material would they make the stencils out of?
Usually something somewhat rigid. Regular paper wouldn't work very well because you sprayed over 1 or 2 times, so it would end up getting destroyed. But cardboard, poster board, thin but easily cuttable plastic, that sort of thing.
Okay. And for paints, like what kind of for this? Like
most of these artists are gonna be using Montana brand spray paint. Montana's a brand of paint product made specifically for street artists and graffiti artists, and they're based right here out of Barcelona. There's a shop here. It's a Montana shop. Definitely be worth checking them out.
Sure.
Good, sweet.
See my name everywhere. You put your advertisements in front of my face everywhere. Well, this is me. This is my advertisement. Candy, anemic, rape, R2, posh. And in 2010, this aluminum tin siding needed to get put up on the backside of this building. And to do that, they put scaffolding all the way up to the top and wrapped it in this green mesh protective netting. And created the perfect environment for these graffiti artists to come here at nighttime and just kind of bomb the hell out of this wall, which is exactly what they did. And you can see they're kind of all in lines because you can see where each of the levels of the scaffolding was.
Oh.
Would have been cool if somebody had filmed it coming down and you could have sped that film up. It would have looked like an unveiling of the wall of graffiti here. But these are the names you'll see all over Barcelona, especially in silver and black on the left there. Idiot. Idiot's not from Barcelona, spent about 4 months here in 2010, and in 4 months got up over 700 of those throw-ups.
Wow.
That is a prolific amount of work to be done in such a short period of time. And the reason we know it's over 700 is because the city actually got really pissed off with him and they counted. They wanted to pin every one of those on him, but it didn't. It didn't.